I want to share something that helped me during a really intense inner phase. And I'm not saying this is a conclusion or some ultimate truth. It's just a lens that helped me, and I'm sharing it in case it helps someone else too. Because so many of us today live with overthinking, anxiety, and these quiet inner questions like who am I? What is life? What am I doing? So, when we go to spirituality during our crisis, it feels too mystical. And when we go to science, it feels too cold. But I needed something human, something that makes sense when you are actually suffering. So, here's the model. I started seeing the body like hardware and the mind like software. And body speaks in a subtle language, sensations like hunger, thirst, fatigue, tightness, the need for rest, the need for safety. It's quiet, but it's direct. And in many traditions, this is what they loosely point to as the heart. Not just emotion, but inner sensing. And the mind is also a gift. It can plan, it can predict, and it can also protect. It's like your assistant. When we are regulated, the mind supports the body. The body says, I'm hungry. The mind says, okay, let's eat. And that's coherence. But when we are dysregulated, stressed, overwhelmed, sleep deprived, or emotionally unsafe, we start living only in the mind. And then the whole system starts speaking the language of the mind because it needs your attention now. And the language of the mind, especially under stress, is threat detection. So even a simple body signal can get translated into danger. A simple hunger signal can become, what is wrong with my life? Why am I like this? Maybe I'm failing. Maybe I'll never figure it out. And suddenly you are not just hungry, you are in a full identity crisis. And this is where I feel ancient cultures were wiser than we assume. Not perfect, of course, but the principle was powerful. And honestly, you can find versions of this wisdom across many traditions globally. So, in Gurukula or Brahmacharya stages, the focus wasn't just information, it was training your inner system, rhythm, discipline, breath, prayer, chanting, simplicity, community. Basically, regulation. Once you know your system, how it works, it becomes easier for you. So, when you entered adult life, work, marriage, relationships, whatsoever, you had an inner foundation. And when your system is regulated, something changes. You don't choose your life from comparison. You don't choose from market value. You choose from your nature. What you love, what you are good at, what your system can actually hold. And roles become roles only, not your identity. Your marks don't decide your worth. Your job doesn't decide your value. But modern society trains the opposite. From childhood, we are trained for marks, comparison, competition, and we are almost never taught the most basic thing, how to come back to the body, how to live in your body, how to regulate, how to feel safe inside ourselves. So we become adults with brilliant minds and nervous system that don't know how to settle. And when a whole society is dysregulated, it becomes collective. And this is where the mind creates a simulation, and we start believing the simulation is reality. In Indian texts, this is close to what they called Maya, and it has its own layer and depth in it. I'm just telling the basics. Not in a mystical way, like the word is fake, but in a very practical way they meant it. The mind creates a story, and we mistake it for truth. And here's the neuroscience part I found really comforting. Your body and your mind are intelligent systems. They actually know how to return to balance. when we stop interrupting them with constant fear and overthinking. That's why regulation practices work, because they are the safety signals you are sending to your body. And no matter how much you are in your mind, these safety signals are very strong enough that they can make you come back to your body, and they can reduce these simulations as well. Not because you're forcing yourself to be calm, but because you are giving the system the conditions to come back into coherence. And inner coherence matters because outer success is not always a safety signal to your nervous system. And remember, when there is inner coherence, then only there is outer coherence. It's not the other way around. And this regulation practices are like recharging your system. Slow walking, slow stretching, breathing, deep breathing, or chanting, humming, dancing, these rhythmic movements, all of these send safety signals. And your whole lifestyle, which is when is very much in sync with your circadian rhythm, it's really beneficial to your whole system. And you can even ask some AI to give you some regulation practices as well, or slight changes in your routine. You can ask some lifestyle changes as well that are also really very beneficial. These are very small changes that have very huge impact. And at the end, I would like to give you one of the most powerful regulation tools that the Upanishadic traditions kept pointing to is the breath, prana. Slower, deeper breathing doesn't just feel spiritual. The more slower, more deeper you breathe, it directly regulates your biology, your heart rate, your stress response, your nervous system. And when the system becomes calm enough, something very simple becomes visible. You are not just the mind, and you are not just the body. You are the awareness that can notice both. And before I wind up this, if you are in your own life journey and you feel lost or like you are failing, I just want to say this gently. You are still held by life itself. Even the messy parts, even the negative parts, even the confused parts. Life can hold all the different parts of you. And I want to be honest, I am still on my journey too. I am still integrating this, everything I told you. I am still learning. But if you want, I can share a few regulation practices that helped me come back into coherence. Give your body safety, more safety and more cozy feelings. And your truth will meet you naturally because it has to. I'll leave a link in the description. It's a video I came across recently that felt deeply aligned with what helped me during my crisis.